some people still hanging in there, not selling out. Developers are trying to buy out American farms to turn them into data centers. This elderly woman in Kentucky was offered $60,000 per acre on her 71-acre farm. Her daughter also declined $48,000 per acre on her 463-acre farm. $26 million rejected. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. Let's check this out real quick.
Want your money? I don't need your money. But I do feel sorry for everybody around us that they're going to be affected by it.
Talks about a data center here in Mason County have been ongoing since last spring. This is the home of Ida Huddleston. She has been offered $60,000 an acre for her land to make way for this project. Same goes for Ida's daughter, Delcia Bear, who turned down a $48,000 an acre offer for her 460.
That's crazy, man. We have Zuckerberg building thousands of new data centers, from what I understand. And what are they doing with these data centers? Of course, I think you already know, AI. AI is taking jobs. On top of that, they're now making AIs that apparently are way too smart, like Anthropic's latest model, which seemingly was able to break out of sandboxes it was put in without internet, and somehow also is able to find bugs in operating systems that are 20 plus years old, battle hardened. Every single thought of like vulnerability has supposedly been found. Nope, actually it found multiple new ones. This new AI did, and they're thinking it could literally take down the entire internet if they wanted it to. You have Joe Rogan here talking about how AI being able to hack everyone's private data within a year, delete your search
It's
history.
funny, someone was just kind of correlating that to, because right now we're watching the FDNY response videos. Right, so they're saying like a lot of different businesses and police and firefighters, as far as having their own kind of journalists or people ready to go on scene with them to prevent. What happens is they have people that are going around following police or firefighters to scenes to get footage. So they're trying to prevent a lot of that. Obviously, with police, they don't have as much as a problem. And police are now, many of them, equipped with body cameras and cameras on their cars. Right, some still do have cameramen with them on the scenes. So for the fires and stuff, yeah, to prevent, because they've been getting a lot of independent journalists showing up at those kind of scenes. So yeah, I mean, new laws are being put in place. Fire stations, I guess, are now that's gonna be part of their new jobs. People that are ready and manned to go on the scenes that are also somewhat fire trained in case of emergencies being so close to a scene. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of racket with all that stuff, so I kind of just give roundabouts and tidbits. Probably means a lot more to you than it does to me in a lot of those situations. As I said, there's classes that can't hear those classes, and those classes cannot speak out loud to respond to those classes. Specifically, I mean, they could answer it, to the universe and just put it out there. Oh, people are asking those questions? Okay, let's do a news story about this, or put it out on some channel. But to be able to directly answer specific people's questions in that kind of manner, that's how we do it. Sometimes. For now. Yeah, so where were you going with that? Oh yeah, because he was saying the AI videos taking jobs. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that because, okay, data centers are being opened. It's going to require people to employ, though. It's not as though I mean, to even build the place, it's going to take construction companies, you're going to need plumbers, electricians, right? Am I wrong or... Okay. And then when it's built, the data center is going to require people, right? It's just, I think where people get a little confused is they're working with things that didn't exist before. Technologies, you got all this drones, right? Kind of like when weather balloons first came out and they needed to create weather stations and have reporters. Right, so I mean, were there people all around the world complaining? They're taking our job. We tell the children what the weather's gonna be. We have a weather vane. We have our senses. I know, when the leaves droop, that means it's gonna rain. Why do we need all of this? They're taking our jobs. No, I mean, it's really common sense. I'm not trying to dumb it down that much. Or maybe I'm the dumb one and I'm not making any sense at all. That's okay too. They're still fucking the kids either way, no matter how stupid I am. Yeah, and that still needs to be addressed, and it's amazing how people think because I'm stupid or a Karen or a Nazi or a non-vaxxer or whatever it is, that somehow justifies their arrogance and ignorance to the facts. Like, oh, see, I told you she's stupid. Look, yep, she's mouthy. There it goes again. It's talking to itself. Has the chip in its head. I know, right? Do you have any suggestions for that, or? I'm not sure. So when people say AI is taking jobs, it's pretty just stupid, really stupid to us. Dude, this is what the movie Captain January was about. You might not have gotten that. I know when you watch the movie, they're singing about shuffling off to Buffalo. The codfish ball, right. Dun, dun. Buddy Epstein, yeah, he was a good actor. He was in Beverly Hillbillies, yes. Captain January, when he did that with Shirley Temple, he was quite younger. I know. You almost wouldn't recognize him until you know, and then you start, oh yeah, I see the smile, the eyes, you start to see it. At the codfish bar. Dun, 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 dun. Are those pajamas? It's a suit that looks like pajamas. Wow, that's really blendy. I hardly would have seen that. Oh yeah, I can see. You got cuffs right there. I see it, yeah. It actually does make total sense if you know how to apply. Right. It depends on what class you're in. Yeah, they don't even know what class we're in, so they wouldn't have a clue. See how, and you can understand that. It's not, you don't think they're stupid or anything, and you're not laughing at them in particular. You just understand. Yeah, see, you can apply that to anything too, whether it be a crime or a joke. Now, see the difference? See, if you do that, that's like, it's kind of annoying. Is that less annoying? Right, but if it was sitting right next to you, say you're at the DMV, and there's just this thing next to you, or would you rather have it going, or you don't care because you get your headphones? When I'm just waiting in line, I get my headphones. I love it. That was a great answer. That was a really good answer. A plus plus plus. Hey, that doesn't pay the bills in this household. Laughs might get you a check over there, but over here, you get checked. Sorry.
Bookmarks, Reddit. Let's just hear what he has to say here.
Delete your search history, delete your bookmarks, delete your Reddit, medical records, 12-year-old Tumblr, delete everything, every photo on the cloud, every message on every platform. None of it is safe. It will all be public in the next year. Local storage and compute.
Okay.
Why was the captain? Oh, because Captain January, the old man, he lives in the lighthouse, and you can just see the look on his face. Confusion. Times are changing. They don't need him as much as they used to, you know. He used to have to go up and light it himself, make sure the oil stayed full. I mean, now it's all, you know, you just flick a switch. But I mean, they still need people, right? It actually employs more people because now they get all these guys that need to bring in the oil. They gotta make sure the electricity and the power lines stay good. Yes, exactly. So it employs more people, technically. Yes, and the ease of work, because if you think of it before that, I mean, for them to be able to get the proper equipment, to be able to keep it lit without electricity, yeah, it was probably a lot harder. Wow, we got all these companies coming in with their fancy trucks. These wires. Look at these ugly wires. The birds don't like it. They seem to like it. Look. They start shooting the birds. It's killing the birds. You just fucking shot it. I'm not playing these games, sir. Next thing you know, they're going to do away with the penny.
It's in response to a tweet about Mythos.
Whoa.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty ridiculous how powerful some of these AIs are becoming. I just saw another warning earlier today. See if I can pull that up. It had to do with supercomputers. Apparently supercomputers are now a serious issue. Yeah, here we are. I found the video. Sabine Hassenfelder, is that how you say her name? She has a video that just came out about quantum computers have become much more dangerous. Check this out.
It seems like quantum computers are becoming dangerous much faster than expected. And at this point, I'm very sure there are a lot of things happening now that we don't know anything about. The first paper that made a lot of buzz last week comes from a group at Google. They looked at the use of quantum computers for a particular type of code breaking used to keep some cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, safe. I just talked about...
So this is amazing. They have a new AI anthropic model that can pretty much screw up a lot of stuff. It's so good at code that it can like find vulnerabilities in anything. It could be like the master hacker. You got here.
I was just reading an interesting article. Electrical fires. I'm not saying we get rid of electricity. We're just reading an article. I know, we just read an article and before you know it, those marketers grab a hold. They're gonna get rid of electricity! I know, that's not as easy. Because people are, yeah, right. Not so many people are gonna fall for that. They're not gonna get rid of electricity, silly salesmen. What a snake oil salesman. They're gonna make you eat maggots! Look, they have maggot factories. They're making sausage dogs. Oh my god, it's real. Anyways. Home electrical fires in the U.S. cause an estimated nearly 500 deaths, over 1,400 injuries, and 51,000 fires annually. These incidences lead to roughly $1.3 billion in property damage each year. Electrical failures are a leading cause of home fires, frequently resulting from arcing faults or faulty appliances. Electrical malfunctions cause around 51,000 home fires yearly, resulting in nearly 500 deaths and over 1,400 injuries. Leading cause, the Electrical Safety Foundation International, known as the ESFI, notes that electrical distribution systems, wiring outlets, are a major source, while the NFPA adds that lighting equipment also contributes to these figures. Fatalities and injuries. While roughly 500 people die, another 1,400 plus are injured in these residential fires. Source of damage. Faulty or overloaded outlets and extension cords often cause these fires. High risk. Electrical fires have a high, often deadly impact compared to other home hazards. Common causes include malfunctioning of electrical systems and appliances, which can be mitigated with proper maintenance and safety devices like AFCIs, known as arc fault circuit interrupters. Not saying we get rid of electricity, right? Does anyone argue that fire safety and prevention is important? Right, see how we're not saying get rid of the electricity? Right, because that would be absolutely ridiculous and stupid, just like butter knives or basketballs or guns or social media. I know, so why aren't regular people having these discussions on mainstream? Yeah, all you regular people, you know, us fucking freaks and pieces of shit, potheads that don't know anything. Just looking for a free ride, man. Look at my thumb. You made me choke on my coffee. Bastard. That's okay. That's okay. I like a good chokehold every once in a while, you know? Huh. Take my breath away. Hold on. Jesus. I think we had different ideas there. 1 second. Have you ever seen Officer and a Gentleman? Where were you brought up? Take me to these wastelands. Oh, man. Is that why they call it a dipshit?
When I walk down there, I see the guy run into his house, and then he comes out with a gun and starts shooting.
Yeah, I know. You see, we can laugh and it's funny. But these sick fucks and pieces of shit that like torturing little kids, yeah, they like to make them eat shit, dip them in shit. No, for real. You know, like someone that might rub a dog's face in its feces to teach it not to go on the carpet. That's what they do to our kids. And people think it's funny, that it's a joke. They're teaching the Karens or non-vaxxers a lesson. And so many people that are involved with those things, when they hear this kind of stuff, almost feel like we might be speaking at them and blaming them just because of their involvement. They're getting fed by these punks. It's their buddies. It's a business. These animal abuse, kid torture videos, beating the women with burqas. It's a joke, right, Joe? It's just a joke. They're not really beating the women. They're in on it. Yeah, it's an old school gimmick. Right? It actually really hurts our hearts. But, you know, they say it's that pain and that hurt that makes us strong. So, I mean, if that's true, I must be one of the strongest people on the face of the motherfucking earth. Hold the applause. Hey, good morning. Good, thanks. Yeah, you? What? No, no one's going to take your electricity. Man, word travels fast. No, don't worry. Don't worry. They're not going to ban electricity. I mean, you see how anything could be kind of grabbed a hold of and used as some kind of tool. Stand up for your sovereign rights, man. You are a woman. I will not misgender you. I mean, that was like, notice how it was a short period there and then it kind of got nipped in the bud. Yeah, where people are like getting upset in doctors' offices and places where their names get called, and if you accidentally called them by the wrong name. I know you were getting yelled at by some upset 17-year-old with purple hair, and the authorities need to do something about this. I know, when you listen to them, a lot of these nurses and philanthropists and people who call names, you know. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. To us, it's all been a fucking shit show. And we're just like, when are they going to acknowledge the facts and concerns? Literally, for like 20 years, we've been trying to get them to acknowledge the facts and concerns with vaccines. And we've been getting attacked and harassed by people in the Maine Parent Federation, state departments, psychotic fucking drug addicts. They come together. They go at each other's throats. It's really a shit show to us. And we're concerned about our youngest 2 children in the hands of sick, murderous pedophiles. And when you go back and you see how those wires got crossed, they've all been explaining it to each other. Right, Mr. Bongino? Cash Patel? They've all been explaining it to each other. And some of them have sick fucking wives, just like Meathead, his wife, right? When you look at the activist associations and these groups and marketing, right, see how it's not really them you want to worry about. Now, they got kids, and their kids have friends, and a lot of them have drug problems and sick addictions, and they like to take advantage of these cesspools and areas of high-level concern, lower-level marketing with high profits. So, yeah, it's not anything new. So hopefully the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine, and the local citizens wake the fuck up and acknowledge reality instead of waiting for other people to do something about it. We'll call the cops. No, see, the cops can't make you acknowledge reality. Stupid. Right. So you state workers and citizens and nasty pieces of shit that want to keep licking each other's assholes, lost in your delusions, thinking that just because we're rude or you have some kind of sick justification as to what went on over the years, that the facts aren't the facts and you don't have to acknowledge them. You're just like waiting for some bird to shit on your head. Huh? Do you need to be in a fucking chokehold before you wake up? Do we gotta set your house on fire? I mean, what's going on? I'm not sure what it's gonna take to get you to pull your head out of your ass and help these kids. It's pretty simple. As you can see, people all over the world are doing the best they can. I know, it's fucking hilarious, isn't it? You gotta laugh. I mean, for the sake of your own health and those around you, it's a strength, really. It's a fucking strength. You're welcome. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you. You know. Whoa. Don't be cruel.
Quantum computers that are so powerful they could actually break the code of Bitcoin. This is all coming out, right? All at once. And there was another thing. That's right. Scott Bessent, the Secretary, Treasurer, came out, had an emergency meeting with all these massive financial institutions about these threats that are now coming out.
Yeah, hold on. I can post it, or you can just look it up.
At stake. There is a lot of encrypted data out there that could become readable with a sufficiently large quantity.
So you can see the problem here. Now, you can see we got quantum computers, we got. Just imagine putting Anthropic on a quantum computer, and then you see how far this can go now. You see how insane this is, right? And apparently, the people working on these AIs couldn't even predict what it was going to do. Our smartest and brightest, alleged smartest and brightest, can't even control these things, and they're still making them. I think we might be interested in having a little bit of guardrails on AI now. I don't know. Not interested in Matrix happening or Terminator 2 in the next few years. I don't know about you guys, but actually, I was just watching Terminator 2, and I think it was in the year. Was it 2040 something or 2080? I can't remember. It was sometime in the future from now. Honestly, it seems very feasible at this point. It's like, what the heck, bro? Anthropic CEO predicted that software engineers will be fully automated in 12 months. 12 months, there will be two types of people. Those who learn AI engineering in 6 months and found a job. Those who will be replaced with the help of these AI engineers. So this is the guy who is head of Anthropic, the guys that just made this AI that they can't even necessarily control fully.
At Dead River Company, we know your trust is earned. It's in every answered call, every on-time delivery. That's who we are, who will always be. Dead River Company, earning your trust for generations.
New Dunkin' Zeros. With 0 sugar, 20 calories, and B vitamins. New Dunkin' Zeros. 0 sugar and...
The models that write code, I have engineers within Anthropic who say, I don't write any code anymore. I just let the model write the code. I edit it. I do the things around it. I don't know, we might be 6 to 12 months away from when the model is doing most, maybe all of what SWEs do.
Is it just me, or are these people like not understanding what they're doing? Do they lack spatial awareness when it comes to what they're building? It seems like they do. They may be smart enough to build these things, but are they smart enough to understand what the hell will happen after you build it and let it loose? Right? You understand what our future is going to be when you have these probabilities of AIs getting logarithmically more intelligent and hundreds of people making them and hundreds of companies making them, and just one of them goes wrong. Just one or two or three or five. You see what I mean? Like, I feel like they're just so focused on money they don't even realize what they're doing. They're kind of clueless. Like, are you building like some sort of insane future for us? It's starting to look like it a little bit. You got this, and this is what I'm talking about. Here's another one I saw today. I was like, what? Nokia's CEO says by 2030 smartphones will be implanted directly in your bodies as 6G becomes fully operational. I tweeted back this right here: take your 2030 Nokia phone and shove it up your you can insert it in your body. I'm not interested in having it inserted in my body, okay? I don't know about you guys, but actually it's got more thumbs up already. It's got 11 now. Good stuff. Of course, yes, just shove it up there. I don't want it in my body. You can just have it in yours, okay? How's that sound?
Which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Bro, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the stuff they've been saying in the forum recently are way crazier than they were 4 years ago. Like, they were talking about wanting to monetize breathing in water, air, water. What was wanting to monetize that? And say it's not something that we should just have. We shouldn't just have water and air, you know. You gotta pay for it. That was just one of them. There's another one. It was like poor people are no longer going to travel. They're just going to use virtual reality helmets, like the movie Ready Player One. There's actually multiple others. There's actually like two more that were really crazy sounding too. Like, what's going on here, dude? Like, I'm starting to really think that we should be going to the mountains soon here. I don't know. Looking kind of crazy. Anyway, we're going to get into more. First, I'm going to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Go check it out, 3 months worth. Plus the free Green Protein Kit, $7.97. These are the description. They have other options as well. Just go click at the top of the page. As I've shown many times before. Also, of course, this book here, The Lost Ways, How to Create a Grandfather Live Without Electricity. And when the Matrix happens, or Terminator 2, you might want to have this book just in case. It's $37 for the version. Link is in the description for that. Honestly, they make the content for us here, my friends. I've been talking about this stuff for about 12 years here on YouTube, and pretty much everything I was talking about way back when is coming true. I said back in 2012, I think it was, that you're going to be surfing the internet with your brain in the future. That was way before Elon came out with this Neuralink. I said that. I said that's going to be their next thing. And you just heard the Nokia guy say that. And you've seen Elon with his technology. I was predicting this stuff back in 2012. Anyway, so you get the idea. We got here an interesting clip about Melania Trump. Apparently people are saying that she was part of it. She's one of those island people. Okay? But I'm not really convinced. I'm starting to wonder what's going on here. I don't know if this is just a female friend that has an axe to grind with her, but it's not fully adding up. Let's just put it that way. We had, of course, a lot of people are showing this picture of these two tweets from Amanda Ungaro, who was friends with Melania. But when I went and looked at her actual X account, those two tweets are not there. She doesn't have very many tweets. Maybe she deleted them. I don't know. She clearly is, though, not happy with Melania from what I can tell. But even if you go down in her replies, I mean, there's not very many tweets here. There's very, very few. I mean, you can count them on your hand, I think. Was it 5, 6 tweets? There's 6 tweets on her. I mean, is that what it says at the top of the page? Let's see what it says at the top of the page. Yeah, 6 posts. Let me see if we get on the screen. There you go. 6 posts, that's all. Maybe she deleted them.
Does it work?
But let's go look at these tweets that they're claiming was from her. I have nothing left to lose in my life. I will tear down the entire system. Be careful with me. The B word. I think he's supposed to be saying FLOTUS. That's supposed to be millennia, right? I will tear down your corrupt system, even if it's the last thing I do with my life. I will go all the way. I am not afraid. Maybe you should be afraid of what I know of who you are and who your husband is. Now, of course, those are very vague words. Everyone's just taking those vague words and saying, this means she was on the island. And of course,
challenging the standard of what comes as a standard. The next generation of GMC terrain elevation. Get this low mileage lease on this 2026 GMC terrain elevation for around $329 per month.
It's just like a very cool way to prototype extremely quickly. If I go here in Figma, I just have this design here that I put together. I can just take the link, I can copy a link to selection, and then I can go into Codex, I can just paste the link, use the Figma skill to implement the automations page in my app. It was like 90% of the way there.
Two of our chargers blew up, and
there's all these fake images apparently out. I saw David, Rodriguez point this out. All of a sudden, Millennia comes out against Jeffrey the Island, and then these AI photos emerge. Gee, why didn't they come out in 2016? Be smart, folks. Psychological warfare, full throttle. Take a picture. I mean, obviously, if this was real, we would have seen these back in 2016. Obviously. They're all fake photos that are circulating right now regarding her. What is this?
Yeah, those two were running together.
Yeah, here we go. Actually, are these photos real or Photoshop? Thoughts? The photos in this meme collage are not real. They are digitally altered, AI generated, or Photoshop images created to mock. And of course, a lot of people are getting millions of views saying these are real photos. That's the thing with X. It's all, like literally 30% of what you see, maybe more than that, maybe 50%, I don't know. A huge percent of what you see on X is actually fake, and then you'll learn about it like a day later. Like everyone's like 10 million people saw something. Oh my God, that's the truth, and then the next thing you find out it's fake. That happens like often over on X. It's extremely annoying. At any rate, there is a video that came out. Is this the one? I think this is the video. Let's play this real quick. I can't attest to it if it's legit information or not. Let's just watch it though.
Let me tell you something. There is no place more dangerous in this world than the space between a mother and her child. And to quote Bob Dylan, when you got nothing to lose. So yesterday, the First Lady gave a desperate live statement from the White House Grand Foyer. She was visibly shaking and she denied her links to Jeffrey Epstein. Why out of the blue? Because Amanda Ungaro spent 20 years in Melania's inner circle. A woman who was even a UN ambassador is currently threatening to torch the entire administration from an iPhone in Brazil. Amanda Ungaro was there for it all.
So I'm curious about this. Okay. So we saw. Okay, let's see this. That doesn't show us anything. Tell us about Millennia. Ready? Really for free? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Take your time, drag it out for a while, get paid. Donald Trump. Oh yeah, see, that's another thing. Look. Okay. There we go. She wants to be paid. Okay, she wants to be paid to talk about Millennia. That sounds like very much like she's just going to tell you the truth, right? I don't know about that. Got the fake photos. Alright, so I'm starting to think this might not be legit. I'm actually wondering about this. Let's go check out what Google AI says about this lady. Just some side facts.
Hang on, man.
Custody battle.
Why don't you take your jacket off?
So what do we got here?
What's
going on with this whole thing? Let's see what we got. Custody battle between Brazilian former model Amanda Ungaro and her former partner Paulo Zampoli, longtime associate of Donald Trump, sparked some controversy, separation conflict. Ungaro and Zampoli separated in 2023. I think 2 decades inmates together.
He had the keys on
Deportation allegations, and Carl alleges that Zampoli used his political connections to have her deported to Brazil to gain an advantage in custody battle. ICE involvement records obtained by the New York Times indicate that an ICE official contacted the Miami field office describing the case as important to someone close to the White House.
You got hair.
Who introduced Melania to Trump, currently serves as a special representative for global partnerships. Current status, the girl was deported to Brazil in late 2025. So there is some evidence that there is something here. So let's watch more. Alright, this is kind of interesting.
The Mar-a-Lago New Year's parties, the inauguration, the private UN galas. She was the partner of Paolo Zampoli, the man who literally introduced Donald Trump to Melania. They met when she was just a teenager and he was 32. But when the relationship went south after 2 decades, Zampoli didn't just call a lawyer for custody. He weaponized the full force of the federal government against the woman he called his wife for 19 years to win a custody battle over their American-born.
Okay, so this makes sense. So you could actually twist this either way. You could say Melania actually just preemptively stopping what she knows this other lady's going to say, because this other lady is willing to say anything she wants to make and get paid. Just showed a tweet back here how she wanted to get paid. Okay, here it is. I found it again. Really? For free? Idiots? Wow, dude. She's, oh my goodness, dude. Seriously? For free? Okay, obviously about money, so that kind of puts her testimony in a little bit of less validity, light, you know what I mean? Like, she's wanting to do it for money. Seems like she really needs some money. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. So you can take it either way. You can spin this any way you want. It could be just she realizes she's going to say a lot of nasty stuff that ain't true, which, shocker, we've done that before. Wouldn't be the first time, right? At any rate, I think you get kind of the idea. Go check out my other channel as well. I got some interesting stuff posted over there. I just did one on this whole Artemis thing. I think you'll want to definitely see it because of some of the interesting connections that we discovered with ancient mythology and the word phosphorus, which is where we get the word Lucifer from. Is this operation Artemis really supposedly Lucifer instead? I'm going to get into that over another video. At any rate, that's my video. I kind of want to know some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.
Chevy trucks are as dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. They don't need permission to get going. They all have that little extra.
Welcome to another Tom Billion Show Live. We have a very special guest today, boys and girls. We are joined by the Troll King, Michael Malice. He is in the house. He's here because he has a very special graphic novel that he's put together. He's told me a lot about. I've seen pages from it. I am very excited that this man has joined the ranks of people right.
And now here's our president. Not even a month and a half into the conflict, which we are not winning, by the way, because the Straits of Hormuz are not open. There's one way to keep track. That's the measurement. Saying that we're going to use our military to kill the civilians of this country, to use the U.S. military, our military, to destroy civilian infrastructure, run as a modern country. What happens when it loses power? Well, people die. Babies connected to incubators die. People in hospitals die. It is vile on every level.
Tucker Carlson leveled the harshest criticism of Donald Trump, offering a scathing monologue, calling Trump out for threatening Holocaust on the Iranian people. Now, before we get into it, Cenk, he even defended Muslims in the face of...
Someone in class was trying to understand where... that was Tucker Carlson. He's a news anchor for, he used to be for Fox News. Yeah, you can look him up. He has a history. I think before that he was with CNN. He's kind of been in journalizing for quite a while. Yeah, so anyways, they're trying to kind of gauge where he was coming from there, and they're guessing that rhetoric is coming from over the years from their perspective. when you look at things such as big industries, like big pharma, fast food, meat and dairy, cable companies, electricity, and when you see a lot of the changes being made within those industries, I mean, over the years, we've already been watching a lot of upheavals and havoc from all of that stuff. So they're guessing the military talk, they're trying to kind of hone in on why he was making those statements, because over the years, this is what they're saying, threats being made. I mean, we've seen cables getting cut, they make threats out in the ocean. Right, we have Adelphia, Spectrum, all these different cable companies, and then you have the satellite systems. This has been a frequency war, they call it, for years. And then as far as using solar generators, wind power, whatever it is. And as you can see over the years, those businesses make people a lot of money and bring people a lot of pain, death, havoc. Well, you know, they need people. They need people, right? Yeah, so what they're saying is, over the years when people have these threats, I mean, just in the last couple weeks, we've had people, even here in the state of Maine, right up the road, actually, some guy went shooting up the power plants. Just some angry citizen, disgruntled, I'm not sure for what reason, but something motivated a citizen to go around and shoot up 3 of our power plants here in Maine. Yeah, one right here in the city. So I'm not sure what people aren't grasping about that. I know, and then you have these druggies connected to the same lines. Well, you know, when I say druggies, you know what I mean by that, right? Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's not always somebody that does drugs, right? I mean, when they drug it. Have you ever drudged something? Okay, so anyways, Jesus. You know, I can't do this. I already am. I already did. Exactly what's already happened. You know, for people to get that through their heads. Nobody's trying to make any threats. Well, I mean, maybe in your world you have. I know, then they're going to show us people. Yeah, listen to this. Huh? Tell me no one's making threats. Here, I'm saying from these perspectives in these classes, yeah, no one here is making any threats in our classes. We're trying to get people to acknowledge the facts and the concerns. And then that way their funding is used appropriately. I mean, you can't be perfect, right? There's going to be petty this and that. But these are not petty. These are fucking pit holes of despair that is enriching some sick shit. And it's appalling and disheartening to a lot of people. And we've seen a lot of good people get taken out and take themselves out because they are so disturbed at what's going on and how sick and demented and evil and maniacal people can be. I know people like Alex Jones love those people. I know, you get one of those people and you're sure to make a lot of money, especially in these kind of communities and families. Right, so they definitely found some. And they tased and hated the shit out of them back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right, and then did you see how, boom, then they start to get them jumping on board doing the hazing and tating, and because it was done to them, they're ready to do it to other people that had fucking nothing to do with it. But in their little heads, they'll come up with some reason as to why they deserve it. In 1997... Yeah, it gets fucking old, you sick fucking nasty sluts and pieces of shit. Right, so anyways, I hope the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine, but yeah, the military talk with that, so of course there was talk over the years of bringing in military and people, security for not just power plants and those kind of places, but for our schools. How many people have been talking about that, right? In using military and retired military and things like that. Makes sense. Right. And so, I mean, you have all these things where you try to create jobs. That would be a lot of jobs. We have 100,000 schools. So just the schools alone, think of the jobs there, right? So I'm not sure they're taking our jobs and everybody just wants to fucking go play in a simulated fucking bomb strike. I had an experience. I need to go to Camp David and be medicated. I'm traumatized. Yeah, it gets fucking old. We've been listening to that Silicon Valley shit for fucking 20 years. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, while people are trying to fucking help children being fucking whipped with electric whips over here, connected to these fucking activist groups. It's not a fucking secret. It's very right in your face if you fucking look at it. And a lot of good journalists and people were killed over the years trying to expose what they were doing in those training camps. And it gets ignored till they're released on the street, raping and killing women and babies. And the ones who allowed that training and funded it are going, look, how horrible. Or ignoring it as though that's what happens. It's insane, just like with the vaccine. Well, that's what happens, and don't worry, just the sick, stupid people will die. Wow. Oh, I'm telling you, we've been in the room with a lot of these people, and it's hard to stomach and grasp how they talk the way they talk. So yeah, I'm guessing that's where some of the military talk came in. And then you hear these people, these are mainstream reporters, Tucker Carlson, the Young Turks. And then that just gives them something to be like, what are they talking about? And then they're just like back and forth, like every other, just another layer of how they're at each other's throats, making each other money, licking each other's assholes, cutting each other's throats. And what really should be getting addressed gets ignored, and the young children are getting killed and raped and tortured at an alarming rate. Right here in the United States of America, by Americans, for Americans. Anybody? No? All right. We're right here when anyone wants to get real. My name's Mary, Augusta, Maine, 4 children here. Do you need the numbers again, or just let me know. We're right here. Thank you.
Trump's mockery of
You're
the Muslim
welcome.
faith and more. Your 2 cents.
Yeah, I was shocked by how severe this was. So he basically talked about how Donald Trump's not a real Christian. And there's a fact in here that I never knew that is devastating about Trump in regards to the Bible. And in fact, some are saying, and I can see why having watched it, that he's implying that Trump is the Antichrist.
Yeah.
That is, wow. Tucker Carlson, who helped Trump in all those elections, now saying that Trump is evil. It is amazing.
Now, Tucker Carlson's monologue came out prior to Trump threatening to wipe out Iran's civilization. However, the monologue came after Trump had posted this on Truth Social. Tuesday, by the way, this was on Easter morning. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. Now, before we get to more video highlights, I want to address what Tucker had to say about Trump in the Bible. He apparently noticed that when Trump was inaugurated for the second time, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. I didn't notice that, but apparently Tucker did, and it bothered him, but he just kind of ignored it, didn't say anything about it, until the issue came up, and he mentioned it in this monologue. And so he feels that Trump didn't put his hand on the Bible because he was intending to carry out some of the actions that he's been carrying out. And some interpreted what Tucker Carlson had to say there as calling Trump the Antichrist. I didn't get that feel, but maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention.
He kept talking about this is not Christianity.
Right.
And this is something else, something different.
Someone said he was doing Reiki on the book.
Okay. So now you could say maybe he was referring to another religion. Clearly it wasn't Islam because he said positive things about Islam. Or, I'm not a Christian, so I'm not that well versed in what is the opposite of Christianity, but we've all heard in popular culture Satan, Antichrist, etc. And he kept saying this is the opposite of Christianity, and saying like, why did he not put his hand on the Bible? that shows you that he does believe in the Bible and that he's planning to violate that oath. That's why he didn't put his hand on it. And he talked about how this kind of like stealing from the Venezuelans is the opposite of what Christ would do and what Christians would do. Threatening to kill all these people
like
is the
of
opposite
say,
of what Christians would do.
They might dip but not doodle. Oh yeah. Right, so over the years with a lot of these different marketing groups, so to speak, connected to these activists with the child and animal pornography and abuse, and I mean, it gets pretty deep, yeah. And a lot of people protect these lines of operation and businesses for multiple reasons. Yeah, and most of them would not be okay with punks fucking our kids, but that happens. And they know they're heavily protected in these lines of traveling goons and journalists and marketers and salespeople and really good people. Investigators, military, secret service, secret security. I mean, a whole host of things. You have traffickers and they need their security, right? Yep, that's true. Oh, good. I'm glad you're seeing what we're saying. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much you can do about it. It's kind of, oh, good to know. How horrible. Go write a book. Maybe talk about the vaccines. Do humanity a favor. It's horrible when you actually look at it. It's petrifying. And it has been to a lot of people for a long time. Yeah, it's just something else for them to ignore and profit from. People trying to convince the psychos around them, state departments, healthcare workers. And then as you can see, a lot of people who have the capabilities just don't even bother themselves with it. It's too stressful and they go open a private practice, which kind of promotes the same idea as whether it's, you know, a massage parlor. Getting a massage is great. The tissues. Do they teach you that it helps to flush the system of heavy metals and toxins? Even just Tai Chi movements, you know, moving the body in certain ways, you're kind of massaging yourself, contracting, tensing, releasing movements. That's learning about that stuff. It's great to kind of incorporate that knowledge and to have the communication tools to do that. In, out. Yeah, right. Some do Reiki. Yeah, exactly. Someone just mentioned Reiki and Trump doing Reiki on the book. What's that all about? It's interesting. Some do heavy metal cleanses, cleanse those toxins and heavy metals. Want to have a class on that? Explain that? Get that out in the public school systems, or just ignore, let it get all compacted, and then they'll have to pay a professional a lot of money when they get older. If they can. If you're lucky enough. Yeah, I mean, most people can't afford that kind of stuff. They got to take the state supplied insurance. You know, like here we have Maine Care, we have your Medicaid. Right, and then only certain things get approved for that. I mean, those kind of insurances are never going to improve the good stuff that works. They're going to just approve the drugs and surgery. This is well known. This has gone on for decades. I am so fucking sick of listening to it and having to talk about it and trying to get it through to people's heads. But when you see others literally getting still killed over it, I mean, we've seen just in the last 48 hours listening to doctors and other people practically crying, talking about how disturbed they are by this, getting attacked themselves, losing their licenses. People need to wake the fuck up. This is wrong and it's not right. Obviously, it's kind of like a war. So I'm not sure why people with these big voices keep talking about fucking, I don't even know. Trump didn't put his hand on the Bible. That's making me think that he might have other plans. Is that the best we got? I know it's not. But it's some of our highest paid, well-known journalists talking about those things. So if that doesn't tell you something, I mean, we've been trying the best we can to get through to them and send them messages. But when you're dealing with people, they're not going to look at it no matter what. When you understand druggies, yeah, information can be almost worse than a drug, they say. No way. Right, so hopefully the proper authorities here do what they can to help these kids. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, suggestions as to how we can help our children without breaking the law, that would be great. My name's Mary. Anytime, folks. We're talking to the citizens here in Augusta, Maine. Yeah, when we say you stupid, sick fucking pieces of shit protecting fucking pedophiles and murderers, we're talking to a lot of people right around here. And many that have moved away. Many have died or gone to jail. So I'm not sure what it's going to take to get people to wake up to this and help to bring education and awareness to not only as to how they've gotten away with it, but to maybe give more education and awareness to help support people that risk their lives every day and deal with these kind of things, while others just seem to shrug it off as though, well, that just happens in those worlds. Just the sick ones will die. And they just push out these things and mandates, screaming, they're going to make you eat maggots, while they're making billions off of this shit. So I'm not sure. Come on, you guys. If you really want to help, you can go from zero to hero really quick by getting real and reporting what's happening here. We're in Augusta, Maine. Yeah, I mean, we're not too hard to find. It's pretty easy. Much love, everybody.